Acting Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Jillian Douglas Phillips. Acting Deputy Chief Education Officer, Dr. Lavon Chalwell Bruley. Other educational officials, staff of the Alternative Secondary Education Program, graduates, parents, well-wishers, good afternoon. It is my pleasure this afternoon to be your chairperson for the 2015 graduating class of the Alternative Secondary Education Program. Graduates, you have put in the work, and today you are reaping your reward. Benjamin Franklin once said, an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. He is now the face of the $100 bill. I congratulate you. I also encourage you to set even bigger goals. Don't let today be the end of your accomplishment. As William Arthur Ward said, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it. If you can dream it, you can become it. At this time, we're going to have the reading by Dejan Benjamin, immediately following the welcome remarks by Mrs. Jillian Douglas Phillips, Acting Chief Education Officer.
The words of a preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, said the preacher, vanity of vanities. All is vanity. What profit had a man of his labor, which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh. But the earth abideth forever. The sun also arise, and the sun goeth down, and hath to his path where he arose, the wind goeth towards the south, and turneth about unto the north continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come 30, they return again. All things are full of labor, man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor ear filled with hearing. The thing that had been, it is that which shall be, and that which is not done is that which shall be done. And there is no new things under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new, it had been already of old time, which was before us? There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that shall not come to those that shall not come after. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem, and gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This so trivial hath God given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is straight, that which is wanting, cannot be numbered. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, lovely. It is my distinct pleasure, honor, and privilege to welcome you all to this momentous occasion of the Alternative Second Education Program, the 2015 graduation ceremony. To all our distinguished guests, members of the press, graduates, and ministry staff, your presence today is symbolic of your interest in the education of the citizens of the territory of the Virgin Islands. The Ministry of Education has been instrumental and continues to be instrumental in its efforts to create a culture of excellence. And ASEP is one such medium in which educational achievement has been made attainable. I invite you to enjoy the proceedings of this ceremony. Having welcomed you all, allow me to congratulate the graduates. Smile. Good. On achieving this educational milestone. Master of Ceremonies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you are once again all welcome, and I doff my hat to you all for electing to prioritize this graduation above all your other priorities this afternoon. The minister is on his way, so he will be here shortly. I do thank you, and again, welcome.
At this time, we are going to have the distribution of certificates and awards.
Students receiving certificates: Reno Jonathan Alfonso. Dejan Javante Malik Benjamin. Credit in mathematics. Karen Sharika P. Dawkins. Credit Social Studies, Human and Social Biology, and Computer Application. She's also the top in English, Mathematics, and Human and Social Biology. Roseanne Lesme N. Duke. Credit in Social Studies. Hassad Davlon Edwards. Anne and Alicia Monique Smith Gordon. Credit Human and Social Biology, credit in Computer Application. Melanie Agatha George. Credit in Social Studies, Human and Social Biology, and Computer Application. She was also the top student in Social Studies. Davina Elizabeth Gordon. Distinction in woodwork. This is our top student for woodwork. Andrew Javante Skerritt. He's not here today. Brad Jonathan Smart. Credit computer application. Sabrina Osina Percival. Credit Human and Social Biology. Distinction Computer Applications. This was our top student for computer application. Cheyenne Shaiwani Peters. Credit computer application. Rochelle Camille M. Ware. And she had a distinction in human and social biology. We also had students receiving single certificate. Deniston Ian Alexander in computer repair. Maxine Gail Campbell, computer application. Yvette Rose Clark, who's here with us, in computer application. Decima Lambert, computer repair, and Marissa Marsha Whitley, computer application.
Again, congratulations to all the graduates, and I'm going to be a little biased here, especially to those who receive distinction and credit in mathematics.
I know.
At this time, we're going to have congratulatory remarks by the Honorable Myron V. Walwin, Minister of Education and Culture.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to recognize certainly first my colleague in the House of Assembly, the Honorable Mitch Turnbull, the Chief Education Officer, Mrs. Gillian Douglas Phillips, all the other education officers who are here, and teachers and parents. Of course, Mrs. Malone, who does a wonderful job with this program, and also her instructors. And of course, those persons that we are here to see this afternoon, our students who are moving on from one phase of their life into another phase. Give them a round of applause, please. I have to apologize for my tardiness because we are actually in the House of Assembly. And as soon as I'm finished speaking, I'm going to leave as well because there's a bill, the Higher Education Act, that I'm supposed to be the mover of, and the House is actually on recess to allow me to come down to say a few words. I had to come to this graduation because I'm always touched when I see young people take their lives seriously, particularly this program. I have some affinity to this program, or some of the persons in this program who I know had some difficult circumstances, and I'm very glad I couldn't stay away. I had to come to see for myself that they actually made it over the hump, and I want to really thank them and encourage them on their journey. Honorable Turnbull is also here as well because when we were having some difficulties, he was one of the persons that we called upon to assist us as well. And I know he is here because he's also very proud of some of the individuals who are graduating here this afternoon. I want to say to the graduates that I am impressed that you have taken the journey to come on the alternative secondary program, regardless of the reason that you came to the program, because you would have come here for many different reasons. But the fact is that you are here, you stuck with it, and it's a sign that you want to better yourselves and you want to make a meaningful contribution to the development of this country. And I want to come and thank you and congratulate you for having that forthrightness and having that determination to do so. The reality is that without education in this country going forward, we're going to have a very difficult time. We're going to set yourselves up for a life of poverty, because education, as we know, is the equalizer of all men, puts everybody on the same playing field. And what you have inside of your head, nobody can take it out. And there's a space in this country for each and every one of you to be able to do whatever it is you want to do, because this country, even though sometimes things might be a little difficult, and you know, when things get a little difficult, we bawl out very quickly because we're accustomed of having things good. But the country still has opportunity for anybody who wants to make something of themselves. The government, successive governments have invested in education, in scholarships, and different things. We have a college where you have free tertiary education up to the associate's level. So there's an opportunity for you to progress on to bigger and better things if you so desire. Those of you who may not be working, we've put a youth apprenticeship program together at the Ministry of the Department of Youth Affairs and Sports, an apprenticeship program and a youth employment program that you can also go to if you need help in seeking employment. But the reality is, and the point really is that we have put all the mechanisms in place to try to make you successful young adults and persons who can make a meaningful contribution to the country. What this says to me today is that you have taken responsibility for yourselves. You've taken responsibility for your own education. You didn't rest on your laurels. You didn't sit back. You didn't say, poor me. You know, I ran into a problem here, I ran into a problem there, and you sat and wallow in it. But you got up. You went and you educated yourself. And now you have a chance to be graduating this afternoon. I want to continue to encourage you along your journey. And as Minister of Education and Culture, and of course the government, we will do whatever we can to see each of you reach your full potential. We want you to be able to make a meaningful contribution to the development of this country. I want to ask you to give them all a round of applause, because we're all very proud of them. I want to also ask you to give Mrs. Malone a round of applause as well for the work that she continues to do. Every year she says she's leaving and I have to beg her to stay. She didn't tell me that this year, but I'm begging in advance to stay, Miss Malone, because we need someone like yourself with the dedication that you have to helping these young folks. So again, I wish you all the best along your educational journeys. And again, I give the commitment of the government to assist you in any way we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Walwyn, for those kind, encouraging remarks. At this time, we're going to have the student respondent by Karen Dawkins, and that would be immediately followed by the student reflection.
Class of 2015, we are here. We have finally made it. As the famous Black poet and writer Maya Angelou once said, just like the moons and like the suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. I recognize the protocol already established. Good evening, fellow graduates, family, well-wishers, educators. Today I have the privilege to give words of motivation to my fellow colleagues as we relive our memories, experiences, and struggles throughout this special journey. Class, wouldn't you agree that we have some of the best teachers? Mr. Zebulon, you certainly won't be seeing me in your biology class anymore. What can I say? Well, when you enter Mr. Zebulon's classroom, you better be prepared to follow his rules. And you better learn how to spell. You can only answer your phone once. The second time you answer your phone, when you leave and go outside, you can't enter again. And don't even bother try talking him into giving you a half mark because you get one letter incorrect when you spell. That just doesn't work. Mr. Scatliff, you are not getting off that easy either. I'll be honest with you. I was really tired of writing in your class. Can you imagine? I am sitting in biology class and believing I'm in Miss Todman English class. I really don't think I could have survived another year in Mrs. Scatliff biology class. Does anyone remember the No Child Left Behind policy in Mr. Johnson math class? Our math teacher, Mr. Johnson, invented a No Child Left Behind policy, which means he will teach you how to solve a math problem by dissecting it into one half. If that didn't work, he'll bisect it again in a half again. And if that still didn't work, he'll just keep on bisecting. And after all those bisecting, you'll think he would have given up on us. But no, not Mr. Johnson. At this point, he was saying, class, if you're drowning, shout. Because he's just ready to start bisecting again. He will continue bisecting Monday to Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, and then, if that still didn't work, public holidays, vacation days, and even if you want to create your own days, you will still be ready to start bisecting again. Miss Edwards, I haven't forgotten you. Not after all those debates. I believe these debates played an important part in me getting the courage to stand in front of this audience, trying to give a speech. I remember the first time I went in front of an audience trying to give a speech. I was so nervous, my knees started shaking. It shook so hard, I wasn't able to stand straight. And seriously, Miss Edwards seems like she owned a social study library. Whatever topic she was teaching, there was always a book to cover all the topic in particular details. Don't even mention every student in class was assigned a book and given a number for the duration of that topic. And if anybody knows Miss Edwards, will know that you will have to cover all the social study topics before exam time. And if it includes Saturday, Sunday, well, bring it on. I can go on and on and on with memories, experiences, bumps in the road, slips in the valley, but it is time to move on. I want to share with you 5 simple steps to achieving success. I encourage my graduating family to take note, as it might become very useful as we seek to climb the ladder of greatness. Step 1, dream it. Everything begins in the heart and mind. Every great ideas begin in one mind, and they dare to dream it. We should not let negative thinking discourage us. We must dream of the possibilities ourselves, our family, and for others. Step 2, believe it. We must believe in our dreams for them to become a reality. If we don't, then who will? Step 3, go for it. We must be persistent, disciplined, and have good work ethics to turn our dream into reality. And even when we feel like giving up, we must persevere. Step 4, we must learn from our temporary failures. The knowledge we obtain from these small bumps along the way will lead to our future successes. We should not let these so-called failures interfere with our desire to fulfill our dreams. Step 5, dust yourself off. Failure and downfall is not the end. We are our biggest motivators. We should pick up ourselves, tackle the problem in order to pursue our dreams. We will now take a step back in time to reminisce on our past experiences and struggles. There were many sacrifices that we had to make leading up to this great achievement. Those of us who had to juggle work, going to school, taking care of the family, sometimes can be rather discouraging. I can recall suffering several aches and pains from stiff neck after falling asleep in a chair while trying to complete my assignment. Nonetheless, I still persevere. There are times when we just aren't motivated, but a major key for gaining any success is self-motivation. It is important we continue to move forward in excellence, making strides with the knowledge gained from our experiences. Although this is the end of one journey, we must remember it is also the beginning of another. We are now equipped with the knowledge we need to further educate ourselves and to be positive influences in our society. Not taking anything away from the vote of thanks, I feel personally obligated to thank God for awarding us the wisdom and understanding to comprehend the coursework presented to us, the government of the BVI, our family, friends, and well-wishers, to our facilitators and teachers for their outstanding efforts to prepare lessons and to ensure that we understood what was being taught. Special thanks from the class of ASEP 2015. To those that stood by us, tolerated our busy schedules, kept us grounded, and provided words of inspiration as we pressed forward, we salute you. I will conclude with the words of Raim Emanuel, and I quote, "You will have failures in your life, but it is what you do during those valleys that will determine the heights of your peaks." End of quote. Class of 2015, dream it, believe it, go for it, learn from your temporary failures, dust yourself off, and you'll be very successful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, we're going to have the student reflection, and this will be done by the graduating class. At this time, we're going to welcome Miss Cicely Malone, Program Coordinator for the Alternative Secondary Education Program. Come on, students, I want you to give Miss Malone a round of applause. Miss Malone is one of our stalwarts in education who have this program at heart. Miss Malone.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Good afternoon, everyone. I must extend congratulations to the graduates, class of 2015, and their families. Also, I would like to thank the instructors. Instructors, please stand. Thank you. I can't do it without them. The program happens because of the instructors and the dedication that they have to this program. Even when their classrooms are empty at times, they are there. Because sometimes the students feel that they should have extra vacation and decide not to come. They decide sometimes that they need an extra week before they come back from their vacation. And that happened this term. They stayed home for an extra week. Although they knew that classes began on the 4th, a few of them came and the others stayed until the 11th. And then they returned. Each graduating class is different. Today, we have a graduating class of 13, 8 females and 5 males. The graduating class showed you how they look at their graduation and what happened in the program. Their females are at the top of the class. There are 5 females who you see receive awards this afternoon. Karen Dawkins, who received the top in English and mathematics and human and social biology. Melanie George in social studies. Sabrina Percival in computer application. Davina Godin in woodwork. I am sorry that we are not able to display the woodwork because Davina made a whole bedroom set. And I wish that you all had seen that. Somehow or the other, we as a community are losing our sons. And it's not because of them, it is because of us, the adults. Children come into this world wanting to learn. They're eager to learn. I got a group this year, and I'm trying to do everything I could think of to get them interested. We have a class in junior, and in that junior class we have 16 males and 4 females. That's telling you something, that our male students, they are not reaching the mark. And We started, I told you, we started in September. And the class had 20 students. By the middle of September, half the students were gone. And the ones that left are our male students. Some of them go out like for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then they return. I do not understand what they expect to get after 3 or 4 weeks leaving. And when they return, they say to me, we have to work. I understand that. But I say to them, in the Virgin Islands, no. If you do not have a secondary education, you are going to fail. You are not going to, they don't want to do hard work. Because one told me one evening, if I know how hard he has it, because he does construction. I said, but construction pays a lot of money. So why would you be fussing about doing construction? Then he said to me, y'all don't understand. Y'all didn't have it hard like us. I say, watch my head. You see how much gray hair in it? It's because I'm old. And I said to him, I came to town to school, run to Bargus Bay in the afternoons. Why we run home? We had chores. And you could not go to play without doing your chores. That was my words to him. He said, excuse me, please. Because he did not realize. I said, all of us from my generation, we came to school, we went home, we did our chores, boys and girls. It wasn't just girls, boys and girls. Today, we are teaching our young men to waste time. In the afternoon, where are they? They go on the basketball court, because one parent told me that on Friday, when I said to the parent, I do not see your son. The parent was shocked. Miss Malone, he doesn't come to class? I said, no. She said, well, you know where he is at? On the basketball court. We have, somehow or the other, to teach our children to prioritize. Yes, you want to play basketball, but in BVI now, if you do not have an education, you are not going to move on. And we are going to have to send that message to our young people, especially our young men. Some of the girls are just as careless as the young men. They come to class, but what? They don't do homework. With a program that lasts 4 hours daily, 4 days a week, you cannot get through all of the work that you need to do. So you must do homework. And some of them don't do any homework at all. It is sad. And I'm asking all the adults here, we can help somebody along the way. There was a time when people used to say to parents, I saw your son so-and-so. I saw your daughter so-and-so. Well, when I said that to some people, they said to me, that was then. You can't say anything to some parents about their children. All you get in return is abuse. I said to them, after they're hitting you, you could still say it. Because we need to say it for our children to be able to progress, especially our young men. They have talents. They have ability. The problem is they do not understand that if they don't come to class, then we cannot see what you can do. And when the time comes for the exam, They want to write the exam, but they are not prepared for it. And this is the problem. The program is only 3 years. And so they need to come to class so that they can get instructions to be prepared to write the exam. I have this afternoon 2 students who were top students for last year. One in mathematics and one in human and social biology. Dejan Benjamin was the top student in mathematics last year. Rochelle Ware was the top student in human and social biology. And I must say, they don't know this, but I'm saying it now. The students this year who are top did not achieve the score that those 2 students achieved last year. I am proud of these students because they persevered. It is not easy, as Karen said in her speech. You have to develop a mindset. I have another student that I'm sad he's not here this afternoon, and that's Andrew Skerritt. Andrew was in the program before. Andrew was very infrequent, and then he dropped out. In November 2014, Andrew came to me one afternoon and said to me, Miss Malone, I want to come back in the program. I said, Andrew, are you coming to drop out again? Andrew said, no, Miss Malone, this time I am going to finish. I am so happy that Andrew is a part of this graduating class. He came to class, he persevered, he did his homework, and he did what he had to do. He developed that mindset that we are not getting a lot of our young men to develop. And in the BVI now, we know they need that secondary certificate because they need to build on that. I said to them in one of my talks to the group, it's going to become very soon where they are going to tell you without an associate degree, they're not going to employ you. That's where we are heading. And those of you who are related or know some of these students, give them encouraging words. Even though they would start to behave in a way, in a manner that you cannot accept, still give them encouraging words. That is the only way we are going to get them to do what they need to do. I am saying to the community, our community, when we grew up, there was the community that raised the child. Anyone could correct you along the way. I know some of these young people, their mouth nasty. I know they use a lot of indecent language. But they don't use it by us. Because the first day that they come in, they get a list of the things that our program does not tolerate, and obscene language is one. So you won't find them using it on the campus. That tells me that these students can be helped if we, the adults, put some interest in them. And I am hoping that we are able to do something like that. They come to us as babies with curiosity and willing to learn. They ask you questions about everything. Why you doing this? What you put that there for? All of those questions. We have to take the time to answer them because they learn language from us. And what I'm hearing from a lot of our male students is this. Teacher, when I read, I don't understand what I read. That's to tell me that they have a reading problem. Reading and language. Language for children start through communication. We talk to them. We answer their questions. These are the things I think, because it's a working community now, we decide we don't have time for. But when we have children, we have to make the time if we want them to be successful. I said all the above to say this. The community includes the home, the daycares, the school, and the wider society. We must become dissatisfied with our children's poor reading and mathematics skills. It's going down. From this program, we used to have people getting distinction in math. We used to have them getting distinction in English. I have been with the program ever since it started, although the first year I was not really officially a part of the program. I took the program from 2003. And I am seeing the scores in English and math declining. We have to do more to help our children. They have very poor thinking skills. If one person do something silly, the rest of them doing the silly things. They don't say, well, this don't make sense, and I shouldn't do it. They have poor use of their technology. We had one here displaying this afternoon in Students' Reflection. Melanie is displaying exactly what happens at Alternative. How many times do I have to go in there and ask them to put that phone up? Sometimes I go in and I pick it up off the desk and I take it into my room. And because how can you divide the time listening to an instructor and at the same time texting your friend? It cannot work. So they have the very poor use of technology because they're not looking in there for a dictionary or anything. I can learn this. They're texting their friends, they're WhatsApping their friends, and those sort of things. While a teacher is in front of the board, I am tired saying it is bad manners for a teacher to be in front of a board trying to teach you and you are using your phone. They have very poor social skills. And poor social skills and emotional skills. Very poor emotional skills. They don't care what they say, to whom and when. Several times, two of us instructors standing and might have a space between us, and you will see a student just come straight through. And I have to go and hold them. Teacher, I forget to say excuse. If you are practicing it, you wouldn't forget it. They're not practicing it. So these are the sort of things that we are dealing with. And they're poor discipline to learning. To learn, you have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to listen. You have to make up in your mind you have to do something. And a lot of them, they do not listen. When they come out of the class, you ask them, well, teacher was saying so and so, what you did. They couldn't do it. And they don't go home and try to find out how to do it. We must decide then to work together for the good of our children. Then and only then we will be able to develop students with a foundation. Diligence in learning, diligence in purpose, which includes inquiring minds, fluent readers that can analyze, synthesize, evaluate, and create. We must provide our students with a foundation. It starts from when they are babies. Talk to your children. Don't be too, all of us work and had children, but you had to find the time to talk to your children, to read to them, to find out what they did at school today. Those are things that we have to make sure happen. Graduates? Excuse me for expressing my feeling like that. It's your time. Congratulations to you again, and I will leave this quote with you. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your action, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. So you take those words with you and remember them, and I am sending you forth to help somebody. Continue your education, build on it, because you will need it in the future. I might be on the other side and you here, but you're going to need it later on. So congratulations again and best wishes.
Thank you, Ms. Malone. Graduates, I hope you were listening. And even though your schooling may be over, I want to remind you that your education still continues. I want to admonish you that to capitalize on all the opportunity that will present itself for you to further your education. If you think that after doing your research and you came to a conclusion that Development Bank paid the lowest interest rate, I want you to try knowledge. I want you to try knowledge. In the word of Benjamin Franklin, and I quote, and I said it earlier, an investment in knowledge always pay the best interest. At this time, I'm going to invite Mrs. Jillian Douglas Phillips, who have a presentation on behalf of the Ministry of Education and Culture. And thereafter, I'm going to invite the graduates with the song.
On behalf of the Ministry of Education and Culture, I am pleased to award the following 4 graduates with certificates of award for electronic devices. Karen Dawkins, for being the top student in those 3 subjects. You will receive 1 laptop with an accompanying printer. Congratulations. Miss Sabrina Percival, for being the top student in computer applications, 1 iPad mini. Miss Davina Gordon, for being the top student in woodwork, 1 iPad mini. And Miss Melanie George, this is a phone lady, for being the top student in social studies, 1 iPad mini. Again, congratulations.
You can call on the brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just have a problem that you'll understand. Somebody to lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna. Pleasant good evening. I would first like to give God thanks for not bringing us all here safely tonight, but for giving us the ability to contribute, each in our own way, to the success of we graduates and to the accomplishment of this ceremony. Without him, nothing is possible. And in his care, we can move mountains. On behalf of the 2015 graduating class of the Alternative Secondary Program, aka the Mighty Achievers, I would like to thank the government of the Virgin Islands, led by the Premier, Dr. D. Orlando Smith, and his team, especially the Minister of Education and Culture, the Honorable Myron V. Walrin, for maintaining this program. This program has given so much of us a second chance at a secondary education. We are all extremely grateful, and we thank you very much. Secondly, we wish to thank the staff of the Elmore Stout High School and the hard-working team of the Top Priority Security Services Limited for providing a safe and comfortable place for us to attend classes. We never take you for granted, and we thank you very much. We thank our friends and families, some of who are here with us this evening. The support we receive from them away from school help us to stay connected to our studies and remind us of our missions. We appreciate all the encouragement that you gave us, and we know that we have made you proud. We thank you so much, and we love you all. I personally would like to thank my daughter, Latasia, for her love, devotion, and her support. Mommy will always love you. Thank you for your help and your inspiration, because I am proud of you, and I want to be proud of you each day of our life. I would like to send special thank you to my boss for giving me time to study. Every day, Rochelle, it's time for you for class. Rochelle, it's minutes to 5, class start 5 o'clock. Which boss would give you time like that? The first year, she said, okay, you won't be doing anything else, just go to class. I thank her for that. We thank both our classmates, student body, and those who are graduating today, and those who will graduate in the future. Thank you for the interaction we share. It was sometimes bumpy, but we did it. Didn't we? Yes. Thank you for your help, your inspiring words. Thank you for helping us in our journey. Together we can do anything. Amen. Thank you to our musician. From a crackly voice to a somebody to lean on. Thank you to our dear teachers for passing on knowledge to us, class after class, day after day, months after months, term after term, years after year. It was not easy for our teachers, or it wasn't easy for our students. It takes hard work, tremendous effort, and sincere dedication. We appreciate all the sacrifice that you did for us. And we are grateful that you love for teaching, allow us to learn, and to take this step in our education journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you for pushing us to the secondary education finish line. Last but not the least, our mother, our teacher, our educator, and our role model. We thank the coordinator of the secondary education program, Miss Cecily Malone. Miss Malone, you are the lighthouse keeper, the one who always tried to get us to understand the importance of self-discipline, perseverance, and of course, a good education. We know that you care. You would hound after us, follow us, call out to us, and even try to motivate us to not just attend class, but to listen and learn. You did not care what our last name were, where we were from, and what we look like, or who we are related to. You wanted us to learn, to grow, and to develop into a better, stronger, and more educated human beings. Thank you for always being honest with us. Thank you for trying, day after day. Thank you, Miss Malone, for believing in us, even when we didn't believe in ourselves. Thank you on behalf of the 2015 class, the mighty achievers. Thank you for being you. Thank you for caring. And thank you for not retiring as you had promised to. Thank you, Miss Malone.